Why you avoid crowds. The powerful truth about your inner world. Hello? If you have ever stepped into a crowded room and felt your energy fall through the floor, you are not broken. If your shoulders tighten at the sound of 10 conversations at once, you are not weak. If your mind goes blank when a sea of faces turns your way, you are not antisocial. You are sensing more than most people notice. You are reading a field that others ignore. Your inner world is telling you the truth. Crowds do something to you. Not because you fear people, not because you lack confidence. Crowds blur the edges of the self. The noise rises. The emotions of others swirl. Your nervous system starts to translate every signal. Lights, voices, micro-expressions, restless feet, forced laughter, hidden tension. None of it is neutral to you. Your body is honest before your mind can explain. Your pulse speaks. Your breath shortens. Your chest sends a message. Leave. Step back. Return to quiet. You are not avoiding life. You are protecting your life force. You are not running from people. You are refusing to dissolve into them. Deep down, you know this. The times you force yourself to stay, you pay for it. Your focus breaks. Your mood drops. Your sleep suffers. You feel a fog that only solitude can clear. The world says you need to toughen up. The world is wrong. You need to tune in. You need to honor the boundary that your spirit set for you before you learn the language to defend it. There is a reason this happens. A crowd has a will of its own. A crowd has a rhythm that tries to pull you into step. A crowd rewards mimicry. A crowd pushes pace over depth. If you are a person of depth, that pace feels hostile. If you are a person of insight, that mimicry feels false. Your inner world values accuracy. Your inner world values clean signal. In a crowd, signals collide. In a crowd, self becomes background noise. Your system protests. It is not fragile. It is precise. Maybe you are a highly sensitive person. Maybe you are simply awake. Either way, your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a form of intelligence. It is a radar that catches what others miss. It is why you read subtext before anyone speaks it. It is why you notice power dynamics in a room before they play out. It is why you can feel tension tighten the air. It is why shallow talk tastes like dust on your tongue. You are built for depth. You are built for clarity. You are built for truth. There is another layer to this. Human beings share patterns that run below words, symbols, fears, hopes, old shadows that live in the group mind. When many people gather, those patterns rise. Excitement spreads, anxiety spreads, envy spreads, performance spreads. A person who lives mostly outside themselves may not feel the pull. A person who lives close to their inner life will feel it like wind against the skin. You are that person. You feel the pull. You also feel the cost of surrendering to it. Your spirit refuses to be carried by a current that does not match your path. So you step back. You choose the small table over the banquet hall. You choose the walk at dusk over the festival at noon. You choose the friend who listens over the circle that shouts. People may call you distant. They may call you cold. Let them. You are not here to be available to everyone. You are here to be responsible to yourself. Your energy is not a public resource. Your mind is not a marketplace. Your soul is not a stage. If this speaks to you, subscribe to Fire Within Tales. Here, you will not be told to become louder to be seen. Here, you will be taught to become clearer to be known. Every week we build the muscles that guard your attention, your time, and your spirit. Join and stay close. Your silence has power. Your boundaries have meaning. Your inner world is not a weakness. It is your compass. It is your shield. It is the reason you will not lose yourself in a room that wants to turn you into an echo. When you avoid crowds, you are not escaping life. You are choosing the conditions under which your life can flourish. That choice is not fear. That choice is mastery. That choice is the beginning of a different kind of strength, the kind that does not need to be seen to be real, the kind that does not need applause to know its value, the kind that can stand at the edge of the room and keep its center, the kind that walks away and feels whole. This is the real reason you avoid crowds. It is not shyness. It is not a lack of social skill. It is not fear of people. It is a refusal to surrender your mind to the tide of the collective. Jung called it the collective unconscious, a deep layer where ancient instincts and symbols move through humanity like an underground river. When people gather, that river rises to the surface. It pulls you with it. It tries to dissolve you into something not entirely yours, and you resist. The crowd thrives on sameness. It moves as one, feels as one, decides as one. In a crowd, thinking slows, instincts take over, and individuality becomes an inconvenience. The louder voices set the rhythm, and those who hesitate are swept aside. The crowd does not care about truth. It cares about momentum. It feeds on excitement, anger, envy, anything that keeps the motion alive. If you have ever stood in the middle of a busy street or a noisy hall and felt a sudden emptiness in your chest, that was your spirit recoiling from the pull. You sense the invisible agreement everyone has made to suspend their inner compass for the thrill of belonging. You cannot make that agreement. You would rather stand alone than dissolve into the noise. That choice is not weakness. It is an act of defiance. People who are deeply attuned, highly sensitive, deeply introspective, spiritually awake, pick up on things most miss. A flash of insecurity behind someone's laughter. A tremor of resentment in the way two friends exchange glances. A hidden agenda behind a casual question. In a crowd, you don't just see one of these signals. You see all of them, at once. They collide in your mind until the air feels thick. That is why you leave. That is why you breathe easier in solitude. The world will tell you to adapt, to push yourself into more events, more rooms, more gatherings. It will tell you that your discomfort is a flaw to fix. But the world thrives on those who blend in. The world wants you to quiet the voice that warns you. If you silence it, you will fit in. But you will also lose the sharpness that makes you see what others cannot. Avoiding crowds is not the problem. The real problem is believing you owe the crowd your presence. You do not. You never did. You do not need to force yourself into the noise to prove you belong. You do not need to explain why you prefer the corner of a quiet cafe to the center of a packed hall. You do not need to defend the choice to protect your energy. You owe no apology for listening to the warning signs your spirit sends you. The way out is not about building tolerance for the crowd. It is about building loyalty to yourself. When you feel the pull of the collective, do not fight it with willpower alone. Step away. Step back into a space where your senses can breathe. Every time you choose quiet over chaos, you sharpen your awareness. You strengthen your boundary. You reclaim what the crowd tries to dilute. You must learn to guard your attention like it is sacred. Because it is. The more you scatter it, the weaker your clarity becomes. The more you protect it, the stronger your insight grows. This is why you must choose the company you keep with intention. One person who truly listens is worth more than 100 who simply hear your words. One conversation with depth will nourish you more than 100 exchanges of shallow noise. Jung taught that individuation, the process of becoming yourself, requires separation from the collective. This is not isolation for the sake of isolation. It is a deliberate turning inward to meet the parts of you that cannot survive in the glare of the crowd's expectations. In solitude, you see yourself without distortion. You hear your own voice without the echo of 1,000 others. You return to your own rhythm. So give yourself permission to say no. Decline the invitation that drains you. Leave the room when the air becomes heavy. Protect your mind from the subtle currents that pull you off course. This is not withdrawal. This is strategy. This is how you ensure that when you do enter a room, you are there by choice, not compulsion. And when you choose to be there, your presence will carry weight. From now on, stop measuring your worth by how often you show up in the crowd. Measure it by how well you guard the space that allows you to think, to feel, to create. The crowd will always be there, but your clarity will not, unless you fight for it. From this moment on, you no longer treat your discomfort in crowds as a flaw to fix. You see it for what it is, a signal, a compass, a defense. You will not let the collective pull you away from yourself. You will not dilute your focus to match the noise around you. You will not trade your inner clarity for a temporary sense of belonging. Your strength is not measured by how loudly you can speak over the crowd. Your strength is measured by how completely you can hold your ground in silence. You will walk into any room without losing the thread of your own thoughts. You will leave when the air turns heavy, without guilt, without explanation. You will no longer fight yourself to fit in. You will choose where you stand. You will decide when to move. From today, you walk with the awareness that your energy is finite and valuable. Not everyone deserves access to it. You will give it to the people and the places that sharpen your mind and steady your spirit. You will protect it from those who drain you. This is not arrogance. This is respect. For yourself, for the work your soul is here to do, for the clarity you refuse to lose. And when you stand at the edge of a room, you will no longer feel small for being apart. You will feel powerful for staying whole. The crowd will move as one. You will move as yourself. And in a world where so many dissolve into the current, that choice will set you apart more than anything else. If you are ready to live this way, to walk into life without handing over your mind, subscribe to Fire Within Tales. Here, we do not train you to shout louder. We train you to speak with such clarity that the right people cannot help but hear you. You do not need everyone. You only need those who see you without demanding that you change. Hold that standard. Live by it. And you will never be lost in the crowd again. If these words resonate with you, make a commitment right now. Write in the comments, I choose clarity over the crowd. Let it be a public promise to yourself that you will guard your energy, your mind, and your inner world no matter where you are. Share this video with someone who has always felt out of place in the noise, someone who needs to hear that their need for space is not weakness, but wisdom. When you pass this message on, you are not just helping them. You are strengthening the kind of world where depth is valued over volume. Subscribe to Fire Within Tales so you never lose sight of what matters. Each week, you will find words that keep you anchored, reminders that keep you strong, and truths that help you walk away from what no longer serves you. This is where you learn to stop fighting the current and start walking your own path. Your inner world is not a prison. It is your power. Protect it, live from it, and never apologize for it.